Hi, everybody, and welcome to Things in My Head. I'm Angel, your host. Last week, we aired part 1 of our interview with Rocky Mountain Oil's owner, Paul Dean, talking about cleaning out the medicine cabinet and putting essential oils in there instead. So we're going to pick up that interview right where we left off, talking about carrier oils and using them on children safely. Right after this. For centuries, essential oils have been trusted to treat injuries, bring health and wellness, and peace of mind. Rocky Mountain Oils has that knowledge and experience and brings the purest essential oils to your family. Offset the high cost of medicine and rely on the experience, trust, and insight of the ancients and Rocky Mountain Oils. Call 1-866-493-8159 or visit us at www.rockymountainoils.com. We're talking about cleaning out your medicine cabinet, oils that you need to have on hand all the time. Just your basic everyday oils that you can use instead of using all of those over-the-counter medications that we've used probably all winter long to get rid of the colds and the flus and the scrapes and the bumps and the fevers. Throw all of those out. We're going to replace them with oils today. We're talking with Paul Dean. Now, Paul, you've mentioned quite a few oils. I mean, we were just talking about using oils with children. And I love that you come on my show and you just dispel all of these myths.
There's a lot of misinformation out there on the internet and out there in the essential oil industry, and they go into safety. It's great to be safe, but when you start saying, oh, don't use lavender on your boy because it can affect his testosterone levels, well, yeah, that's true, but, you're not going to go in and use a gallon of lavender oil on your boy every single day for 6 months. That's just ridiculous. You might use a drop here and there. And in the amounts that we should properly use them, a drop or two, wonderful, wonderful, powerful medicine. But if you go to extreme and you start doing silly things, yes, you can expect, problems to arise. Use the essential oils with wisdom. You're going to be happy that you have them. I've used oils for a long, long time, and I've seen the practical application. One oil that might be absolutely wonderful for me might not be so great for someone else. And so we learn these things. And it's the learning process. I have seen the power of the oils so effectively in my life and my family's life.
You've had small children.
Oh, yes. My daughter, she was completely the essential oil baby. Even before she was conceived, we had the essential oils. All through pregnancy, we used the essential oils. All through infancy. For example, she only got one diaper rash in her, 2 years of being in the diapers. And that was because every time we'd change her diaper, we would take one of our baby skin blend, which we diluted down. We added 10 more drops of carrier oil to 1 drop of the pure oil. I would just rub that on her bottom right before every time we changed her diaper, and she only had one diaper rash,
Now, is that a blend that Rocky Mountain Oil sells, or is that one that you made up?
No, well, both. We sell it and we made it up.
Oh, awesome.
That baby skin is great for mild skin conditions. Mothers use it, when they're doing stretch marks there. It's great to prevent and help heal and eliminate stretch marks. My daughter, she just turned 16 and she's had oils throughout her whole entire life. Just being in our house, it's in the air. And so every single day of her life, she's been exposed to the essential oil.
So do you see a difference between her and, say, your other children who maybe have only grown up with oils for a part of their life? Do you see a difference in maybe her alertness, maybe what she does, how she does things? Has it helped her a little bit more, you think?
Oh, yes. I mean, she is more grounded, more settled, extremely intelligent, generally overall health, way better than, children at school and so, yes, there's definitely the major difference.
Which brings me to another listener question. My kids go to a public school and they are constantly getting sick. Is there an oil that I can use for them at night before they go to bed to help them to combat all of this sickness that's going around school? It seems like they catch everything.
Yes. Well, there's a couple different things you can do. One, you can just put on some essential oils to protect you, like our immune strength. With children, I would say that one is a really, really hot oil, so that one's one you're going to want to make sure you dilute. But just go and put a couple drops on the chest area. I like it on the chest area, but if the children don't like the smell of it, put it on the bottom of the feet there. But that one is going to protect you. I had a school teacher, this is many years ago, a few times throughout the year, she would go and get sick, and picked it up from the children, and she started using that oil, and she was in our local area, and when we moved out about 3 years later, she hadn't been sick once since she used that oil. So there's that one that's the immune strength to protect. You put it on every day. There's some other oils like frankincense, for example. You can put that on. That will build up the immune system. Just properly detoxifying with lemon, putting lemon in your water, you can do that. But the essential oils, you'll notice when you start using them that they will rapidly keep you healthier longer, but also speed up the healing process where, people are normally sick for 2 weeks. You might be sick for a few days. But one thing, just talking about that whole general immune system, and we have a supplement called the Defense Supplement.
My favorite.
That one's specifically targeted to feed the bone marrow, to feed the immune system, to keep it healthy and happy. There's a lot more things going on, such as heavy metal things that it does and stem cell activation and all of this. In modern society, if I could pick between all the products we sell, and I could only use one, it would be the Defense Supplement. And really, that one is going to be the one that's going to protect the best. I'll give you an example here. My 2-year-old, I was doing some work and I had to do some work from home, and I had to take my child over to the neighbors for them to babysit for a few days. The first day I picked my boy up and I took him home, and I could see he was getting some flu-like symptoms, runny eyes, runny nose. And so when I was feeding him that night, I took a bottle of the Defense Supplement and I opened it up and I just put a teeny tiny bit on each spoonful of food that I fed him. And by the time he was done, he downed half of a capsule. I put him to bed. The next morning, got him up, got him dressed, took him over to the neighbors, and the neighbor lady said, we can't take him. My boy is sick and we don't want your kid to be sick and all this. I can't take him. I go, my boy's going to be fine. It's not a problem. She's like, are you sure? And I go, yeah, he'll be great. And so she said, okay. Well, he went there. The neighbor kid was sick for like 2 weeks there. My boy, he got the virus that night. He processed it overnight, and he built up the antibodies. And so when I took him out the next day, he had the antibodies, so he didn't react to that. And we've seen that time and time again with even severe measles, mumps, other significant illnesses and things like that. Very, very powerful. A supplement that everybody should have in their medicine.
I agree. In the last show that we did with you, I mentioned that I have an autoimmune problem. And so I take the Defense. I take 2 tablets every day. I will tell you, this is a little story. Now, I'm not going to get into selling the product to you. Like last time I told you how wonderful it was and everything, and I still stand by that. But this past week, we had gone out of town like a week and a half ago, and I forgot to take the Defense with me. For some reason, it slipped my mind to put it in there. And I didn't have it with me, and we were out of town for a couple of days. And then when we came back, once you get out of the habit of taking something, you just don't think about it, especially when you're rushing around and you've just come back from out of town, and it's just, everything's chaotic. And so for about a week there, I just kept forgetting to take it. And lo and behold, coming up on this past week, I have been so sick. I mean, I can't eat properly because my stomach just gets sick all the time. My energy level is down. I don't feel good. I'm just not 100%. And it was just such a dramatic decrease in my health from just stopping that for a week.
Oh, yeah. When people use it and they experience the difference, just generally health. I mean, for me, for example, I'm in great health, wonderful health, but I use it every day just because, number one, I don't pick up the virus, or if I pick up the virus, I might be sick for 2 hours rather than 2 days. The other thing is I used to have my allergies, my seasonal allergies there. They come on. Since I've been taking my Defense, I no longer have my allergies. And then there's all the other stem cell things that are great. It's going to go in and rebuild your kidneys, your heart, your lung, your pancreas. I mean, my grandmother was, diabetic for 15 years, and she didn't do anything else, didn't change her diet. We got her on this supplement. When she went back to her doctor 8 months later there, the doctor said, you're no longer diabetic. What's going on? What have you been doing? That was the only thing she did.
That's crazy.
Wonderful overall healing benefit.
Okay, so in my medicine cabinet, so we've got the lemon, the lavender, the frankincense, tea tree oil. I've got the Defense, and you mentioned the helichrysum as well. And first aid. If you have children, you want to have first aid. What else should we have in our medicine cabinet?
Yeah, let me flip over to some blends, because blends
are,
the essential oil combinations that are specifically put together to perform a specific function, like pain, for example. We have lots of different pain formulas. A nice one that for your children and for general all-purpose use is Sports Pro is one. The Relieve Me is another one.
Now, I have Relieve Me. We use that, and it's kind of funny. I make my husband put it on the bottom of his feet every night because it keeps him from snoring. If I don't use that, literally, I'm up all night because he's snoring.
And how did you discover that?
It was it was kind of funny because I have a cousin of mine who is an oily person as well, and we talk a lot back and forth, and she uses another brand of essential oils, and she had mentioned another specific blend that is, something that they use a lot, and she said, I put it on the bottom of his feet because it makes him stop snoring. So I looked it up on your site where you have the comparison blends and found the one that Rocky Mountain Oil sells, and you know what? It works. And I got it in the roller bottle, so it's really, really easy to put on the bottom of his feet every night. And now all I do is hand him the bottle. At first he laughed at me and he was like, his feet tickle and he didn't want me putting it on. But now I just hand him the roller and he puts it on before he goes to sleep.
So that is wonderful. So just put a couple drops on each of the feet of the Relieve Me.
Or you can just do the roller and he just puts one little roll on each foot and rubs it in and he's good to go.
Yeah, and there's so many unique uses to the oils. I mean, what might be considered something, not traditional, what you would use, you go and use the oils and you'll find out. Like, for example, our Breathe Ease formula. That's the one with the eucalyptuses that I was going to talk about there. It's great for the lungs, great for the, respiratory system there. But what we found out is that also dissolve out bone spurs and hill spurs. People, how we came about it is one woman started to use it just because she didn't have a pain relief oil. So she went and started using that and it got rid of them. And then we had other people try it and it got rid of them and others and all that. So that's definitely, if you don't know how to or don't have an oil specifically for a function, just grab any oil and see and try it out, because oftentimes your issue will go away. I mean, just by using some of the essential oils. It's wonderful to see that.
Well, there's so many oils, too, that have that antibiotic property to them as well. Two that you haven't mentioned, like single oils that you haven't mentioned, were the oregano and the basil. And I keep those in my medicine cabinet and put them on the bottom of my feet because I'm very susceptible to pneumonia and lung problems and that. And I know that when I need an antibiotic, I do that and it takes care of it literally overnight.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Now, one thing that you're going to want to have in your medicine cabinet, tummy rub. I probably mentioned it last time because I love this oil. Anything having to do with digestion, nausea, motion sickness, morning sickness. I love it just simply because my experience with it is I went out, I was coming home and it was really late at night and I stopped by and I got something to eat and I ate it, it was right at closing time. I ate it, I drove home, I went to bed. A couple hours later, I woke up in the middle of the night in extreme pain. From 1 to 10, my pain level was at a 9, and I knew I was food poisoned. There, my stomach was just outrageously hurt. I was actually considering going down to the emergency room to get some emergency treatment there, and that was how bad the pain was. And so what I did is I went into my cabinet there, medicine cabinet in the bathroom, and I pulled out the tummy rub and I liberally applied. I put about 10 or 15 drops on there. That was quite a lot, but I was in so much pain. I just lathered myself up. Within 10 minutes, all the pain was gone. Everything was done. And I just went back to bed. My sister, she was highly susceptible to morning sickness all throughout her pregnancy. There, she would use that, got rid of it. My mom's susceptible to motion sickness. She uses that and doesn't get motion sick. Lots of different uses for it. Parasites, cleaning out intestinal parasites. Rub it on. Even with pet. My mother was over in the Philippines doing some humanitarian service work there. And there was a woman that she had her sick pig and she was just, crying because the pig was going to die. And my mom came over there and rubbed some tummy rub right on the pig's stomach. And when she passed through that village again, she asked her how her pig was. And she said, oh, the pig's wonderful. An hour or two later, after you rubbed that oil, it got up, it eliminated, she said, a bucket load of parasites, and then it was happy on its way. But we have seen it to eliminate those intestinal parasites. And it's one that doesn't taste bad, so if it's got some fennel and anise and peppermint and things in it there, so you can put a drop on your tongue, but I find it so effectively externally that I don't really use that one internally at all.
Now, I know that in one of the interviews that you did, not with me, but with someone else, that you did mention that you really don't take a lot of the oils internally.
No, I don't. They work so effectively externally. I don't do too much. If I'm specifically going to target detoxification or digestive issues, I might go and do that. But really, there's a lot better ways to get the oil into your body. Smell, number one. You smell it, it goes right into the lungs, absorbed into your bloodstream, and bam, it's on the way. It can just bypass all the stomach acid that may, harm the essential oil, bypass all that other things. So, yes, I really don't take very much internally at all.
And it seems to be bottom of the feet. Why bottom of the feet all the time? I read that a lot.
Bottom of the feet, the reason for that, there's a couple reasons. One, it has the thickest skin in the body there on the bottom of the feet, so it's kind of a lot safer. So if you don't know what you're doing, you can be a little bit more protected over your learning curve. and number two, it's called a part of the Vitaflex and reflexology treatment. All the nerves from the different systems of your body are interconnected, and the nerve chains come along. And if you go down to the bottom of your feet, there's specific nerve endings. And so if let's say someone has a heart condition, normally like a high percentage of the time, if you go to that portion in the feet where the nerve connects to the heart there and you rub it, it's going to be extremely sensitive and sore. And so what you can do is you can put the oils on the bottom of the feet, and it sends out the signals along the nerve chain, and it kind of helps stimulate that whole system, stimulate it so your body will produce healing.
Well, we're running out of time, Paul, and I want to get to at least one last oil that we should have in our medicine cabinet at all times. Is there one last essential oil that you can think of that just we cannot do without?
There's an oil called Calming. It's very calming, relaxing, settling, gentling down. That's wonderful. Hyperactive kids or hyperactive adults or stressful situations, put that on. Wonderful stories about people just calming right down, and you're going on a long trip, the children are fighting in the back of the car, put some calming oil on them. 10 minutes later, they're asleep. Wonderful things. They're calming. Let me hit up a couple other ones. Focusing, wonderful for learning and studying and stimulating the brain. My sister used it and went from C's to straight A's, and she told me she studies even less than she did before.
Finals are coming up.
Purify. That's a great one. That one's for cleaning the air, really, but people love that on bug bites, bee stings, scorpion stings, all that. You put it on there, it neutralizes the poison. I mean, people who are even deadly allergic to bee stings have used it and said, miracle. They don't even have to go and go to the hospital or use any of the medications. Wonderful oil for that.
Now, if you can just find one to get rid of the wasp altogether, I would be so happy.
Well, eucalyptus, peppermint, spray it around. They have a tendency to. I like using eucalyptus for that, but they don't like those. But yeah, aligning is the chiropractor in the bottle, back issues. I really like that one. There's so many different wonderful oils. You're just going to want to try it, read about it on our website and find out about it.
Speaking of the website, at RockyMountainOils.com, and we're going to have a link on our website as well at www.thingsinmyheadblog.com. You have a newsletter that goes out. Tell us a little bit about the newsletter before we go.
Yes, they try to do at least a monthly newsletter, just highlighting a couple oils and telling more about it and what wonderful they do. And then we give a special on that oil, 10% off for that month. Or the other exciting things about the newsletter and subscribing is every couple months they will do a surprise sale. So much surprise sale that I don't even know what they're doing.
I've gotten some really good oils that way too.
Yeah, I come in and I'm like, oh, they're doing that. Well, okay, well, I told them to have the freedom to do it, so they did it and they surprised me. And so you can all of a sudden get outrageously good savings on a few things just by being signed up on the newsletter there.
Right.
Our biggest sale time of the year is November. We do a surprise sale once a week there, and that's really our biggest one for people to gear up for the flu season and gear up all the oils that they need. I do know in advance they were planning on a surprise sale next week. I know what it is too, so I'll let the cat out of the bag. It's the defense supplement.
Yay! Awesome.
And if you ever buy the oil, before the sale comes on, if you bought it a week before the sale happens, just call us up, log on. We'll go and give you a credit for the difference.
Now that's customer service. How many companies are going to do that for you? Walmart doesn't even do that.
Yeah. So we don't want people to miss out on that. Yeah, wonderful things that we try to do and help people out with.
Very awesome. I've actually done that before. I haven't called you guys when I did it, but I've actually bought an oil and then like a couple of days later it's like 10% off and I'm like, really?
Yeah, that's disappointing. So we don't want our customers to be disappointed. So we'll just, just call us up and we'll put a credit on your account.
So how do we get the newsletter?
Oh, just right on the website there, RockyMountainOils.com. There'll be a link that you just click in, you type in your name and your email address. We will send you an email saying, do you really want to sign up for the newsletter? You click yes, and then you're in there. And anytime you don't want to be signed up for the newsletter, at the bottom there's opt-out link. You just click it and you're taken off our list.
Now there's also another site that you guys do where you have kind of a blog and you have different experts and things like that are talking about how to use essential oil on there. And I kind of stumbled on that one by accident, by the way.
Yes, and that is the one that we are just getting started. We haven't really told anybody about it.
Tell us.
Yeah, essentialhealth.net, but that is really going to be our education center. People can come in and type, what do I do for this condition? And our goal is to have the answers within 10 minutes to be popped back up there. And so we are getting that site worked up.
Awesome.
There's always our Facebook page as well that you can call, ask questions there. But the essentialhealth.net website is going to be the main education center. It's going to be wonderful. Lots of wonderful information.
It actually already is just beginning. I know you guys have covered ADHD, you've covered asthma, rheumatism, things like that. Just common everyday ailments that you've got. And there's also a few videos that Paul has done on Google+. Connect with them on Google+, and just some fantastic information on that site. Paul, you're everywhere.
Yes, and what they're trying to do here is we're going to start focusing on education. After this month is done, the essentialhealth.net site, where I'm going to go in and put at least answer a few questions a day and put up some articles and do that. And in our new building that we're moving to, we actually have this, it's a rather large closet that they are setting up to be the studio for videos, and they want me to sit down and do a 5-minute video at least, once every few days there to have that. And so, we have 150 plus different essential oils. So we're going to do a video on each one of those oils.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what we're going to do, just because we want you to try the oils. Remember that when you go to www.thingsinmyheadblog.com, we will have a link to Rocky Mountain Oils. You can order them from our site. When you do, that is an affiliate link. They are a sponsor of our show. And that actually happened after the last time that Paul was on our show. He was impressed with us. We're impressed with him. We decided to form a little bit of a sponsorship partnership, and we're very glad to have them in the Things in My Head family. Now, Rocky Mountain Oils has a little pack. It's called a sample pack. It has 5 small vials in it of some basic oils that you can try for different things. It gives you a little pamphlet, and you get a catalog of the rest of the oils that they have. So you can kind of sit at your leisure instead of going on the internet. You can sit on the couch and kind of flip through them and smell the oils and see what you think and use them, in different ways and see what you think about them before you take the expense of ordering either the smaller or the larger bottles. Now, you have 2 different sizes of the oils, which I really like because a lot of times you can't order 2 different sizes. You do have a smaller version of the bottle, but what we're going to do at Things in My Head is if you go to the website, click on the link that says contest at the top of the website page. We're going to have a Rafflecopter giveaway for 2 of those essential oil sample packs. So all you have to do is go on there, follow the instructions on the Rafflecopter giveaway, and in 2 weeks, we're going to announce the winner of the Rocky Mountain Essential Oil Sample Pack. We're going to be giving 2 of them away. So if it's something that you've wanted to try, but you just didn't want to invest a whole bunch of money into it right away because you really weren't sure, this is the perfect way to find out if you like them or not. Okay? So go to the contest tab at www.thingsinmyheadblog.com and enter that contest. Paul, as always, It has been such a pleasure. I mean, there's just so much information. We can never get it in one show.
Oh, yes. So thank you for having me here. And, to any of those listeners who haven't started using essential oils, just go out and grab a couple, try them out. You'll be amazed. I mean, literally, the power behind them, you cannot describe. You'll be so grateful you did.
Yeah, and I don't even think we've even tapped the surface of these oils. They've been around for hundreds of years, and just the research that has gone into them, I don't think is even sufficient to know what these oils do. But I always said God gave us what we needed on this earth to take care of ourselves, and the oils and the herbs are all part of that. And we just don't need to be messing with God's creation, in my opinion. Yeah, there's just so much information out there. And really, like Paul said, the only way you're going to find out about it is just to dive in, start using them, get a couple of oils, or enter our contest for the sample pack. You can also buy the sample pack. So if you don't win the contest in a couple of weeks, don't worry about it. It's $15, I think, on the site. It's worth it to spend that $15 and just see what kind of oil quality is through Rocky Mountain Oils, to see, just a basic little pack of oils that you can get, and then just reorder those particular oils that you like and try out some of the blends. The blends are fantastic. Anyways, I could go on forever. Like I said, we're going to have Paul back again, probably in the fall. Paul, I can't thank you enough. This has been a wealth of information, and our medicine cabinets are going to be ready. Well, that's it for our show this week, everybody. I just want to remind you, go to www.thingsinmyheadblog.com, enter our contest. You don't want to miss out on getting a sample pack of those essential oils if you can. Also, next week, we have got with us Coupon Coach Lisa. She's going to be back telling us about some exciting things that are happening in her life, what's going on with her new website, and how you can get involved and learn how to extreme coupon. And we have a big announcement next week, so you don't want to miss next week's show. Big, huge announcement that I'm really, really excited about. Then coming up in April, we're going to be taking on some very serious subjects, starting with the first one, breast cancer. So you don't want to miss our show coming up. Take care, everybody.